Hello and welcome back to episode 4 of the Arachnapocalypse Developers Commentary. As always, Rock here. And so, we're heading back into the Frosty Nightmare, the Blue Wool area today. We did complete that one area way in the back there. We still have two more left. We still have two more left that we need to investigate a bit. We have this one right here and this one right here. I think we are going to start off by going to this one first and exploring through there. Now, don't believe I mentioned it. Oh, rage spider. What a guy. Out of nowhere. Don't think I mentioned it in a previous episode. But the Blue Wool area is the home of the Monumental Victory Monument, and we'll be finding that depending on how things go. I'm hoping that we will get into we'll complete these two areas today, and we will be prepared to do the green wool next time, but that's on our wish list. We'll see how things go. And our sword took a beating. The downside to the gold sword. I tried to do a lot of downsides to a lot of the stuff that was really good. So like the really good swords and stuff are gold, which don't really last a whole lot, very, very long at all. However, they are really strong. It's much like with the armor. I chose to go with, instead of having just weakish armor, I decided to go with really strong armor. However, it does have the drawback of being the armor does have the drawback of being thorned. So, although it's really good, unfortunately, you'll have to deal with the thorns. Now, this was an intended functionality. I won't be going back and updating it to remove the thorns or lower the thorns or anything like that. It's intended like this in order to kind of counterbalance the quality of the item, because if you look at all the iron gear, they are really good. However, it does have the thorns, which kind of detracts from it a little bit. Okay, so we got 3 pathways we can go down this way. It's kind of let's get in here and just light it up a little bit. Just to get a base framework of safety throughout the whole thing. This is typically what I would do when I'm trying to make sure everything's safe. Is you just want to get that lighting down. If you can get that lighting down, it'll make things a whole lot safer for you. You know, you might take a little bit of hits here and there, but overall it's going to make things 10 times safer. Grab a little bit of this, just to have that bit of food for when we go back. Webby gun here. We'll leave that here for now. Like I said before, I put quite a bit of Webby guns in the map in order to kind of give something for the player in case they die or anything like that. They don't have to worry too much about, you know, being absolutely screwed, because the Webby gun honestly is really, really good item in this map, just because of the sheer amount of webs and all of that. This is a stronghold micro base. It is intended to be a little base for the player to set up. We have a little hopper clock that's turning on and off lights. We have a little XP blaster, little bed, ender chest, all of that, with some gear in it. One thing I will say is that this whole map is in the, I believe, Plains biome. Yeah, none of the beds are in Hell biome, so I've seen a few people checking the beds as they were getting here, like, oh, bed, let me check it. Nope, not Hell biome. So none of the beds are I didn't go that far in the dickery and trap all the beds and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry too much about that. All the beds are safe. However, there are it's a two-tiered trap in this room. If we come back here, we can see the second tier, which is a ton of cave spiders, which I'm gonna swiftly take out before I do this. And then there's this Rocky and XP blaster, which if you just look at it at face value, it's just a bunch of XP bottles, which are fantastic in themselves. However, if we dig a little bit in, we want to go on this side. You could see that there is this redstone line hooking up to this hopper that has cave spiders and silverfish and stuff like that. So yeah, it is a two-tier trap, and I will explain how this two-tier trap works. 1 second. I'm tempted to use that. Okay, so how this two-tiered trap works is there's this lever right here that will pretty much power this this is a vanilla piston. It's not a sticky piston or anything like that. So it's going to push this block and it won't be able to pull it back. Once that happens, it will power this command block that tells you best of luck, and then it comes in here. Once this is powered, it will pretty much deactivate this hopper, which will continuously feed those spider eggs, the silverfish, and the cave spider eggs into the dispenser, which, because this block is being powered, it will continuously dispense them. So that's the first tier. I call this a two-tier trap because the second tier is a hidden trap, which I've seen quite a few people weren't able to find it, because if you look in here, right here, in general in here, there's not really a whole lot. However, we could find the second tier hidden behind the wall. So this block gets powered, which deactivates this stone. But because this block is powered, it also feeds into some stuff up here, which if we end up following the line, it will lead over to that dispenser where we initially remove those cave spider eggs. That one up there. So it's two-tiered. The second tier, of course, being hidden, and it's kind of a bastard of a trap. I've seen a few people get hit by it, and it's mostly the people that didn't see this. The initial plan with this is that I used a lot of stuff to draw the player's eye away from this right here. So if you can see, there's a single spider web, a couple spider webs here, but in general, like, all the flashy stuff is over on this side, around the walls of the room. So it's to draw the player's eye away from here and towards everything else. So, you know, we have these flashing lights over here. We've got these fancy tables and flowers and plants and all of these chests and stuff like this. So, in general, if you're either going to see this if you're an extremely observant player or by accident in general, because, you know, even coming in, you can't really see it. So yeah, that's that trap with the micro base. Let's see what else. If we come over this direction, we had this web begun here, and if we come over in this direction, we've got two ways we can go. We can go in there, or we can go over here. Let's do this one first. We need to get in and light up as quickly as we can before bad stuff starts spawning everywhere. This room can get full really quickly if you move really slow and stuff like that. So it's advised that you move much like, it's kind of like the pacing of the map in general. It's highly suggested that you move really fast with the pacing of this map. So, as you can see, we were able to get in fairly quickly, and torch it up before anything became too much of an issue. I've seen LPs where this room was completely loaded with mobs, and it became like near impossible to get in and really do anything. So, in general, the big key thing with this kind of area is you want to move quickly and you want to move efficiently, and just get in, take out light up, take out what you need to, and such. Some arrows would be good. I don't need all of them. More of that. Or that. Just a little bit of extra books around for enchanting. The leather we don't need. Knockback punch we don't need. I believe there's potions in here. These, however, we will take. Along with that golden apple. We'll take these because we don't really have a whole lot of potions ourselves anymore. We had potions, and we lost them. Let's pitch a little bit of that. Then, okay. So we have this first section cleared out. Let's get a little bit of food just to make sure we're topped off on hunger, and not have to worry too much about that. We will break into this room right here, and brute force our way in. If you work quickly, like I said, you're not going to have too much of an issue with a lot of the stuff in this map. I actually just recently saw a speed run of the map that they completed in 10 minutes and 13 seconds, which is a really fantastic score. However, watching it, I was a little bit saddened by how little spawns there were. Just because a lot of the spawners, that if you move really, really quickly, you could kind of mitigate a lot of the spawners. Like you saw in this area and that other one, is that I got it. Jesus, I'm yawning. I got in, and I was able to kind of torch it up and such, so I didn't have to worry too much. So that's a big thing with this map, is you need to move. You really do need to move quickly and efficiently in order to successfully do things well. There's so much stuff that I want to have, but I don't want to have at the same time. Like this string, I could probably easily replace with this stack of wheat. Let's do this. I know there's a workbench back in that other room, but we'll do it here. And we will dispose of this. We can pitch that. Alright, look at that. A little bit more room now. Sword we'll grab. Boop. How's our gear doing? Okay. You know what? I'm going to leave this XP bottles here. I don't think I'm going to need them, really. No, I might. Let me enchant this. Unbreaking. Meh. Meh. Okay. So yeah, that's that room. That's this room over here, right? Yeah. Alright, so this is this pathway. Overall, a lot of this... Did I go into this way? Yeah, micro base. This was... yeah, I think I'm dead. A lot of the areas in this blue wool area are just more or less loot areas, which is really good for the player. It gives them something to recover off of if they, they make a mistake and they die, a couple times or whatnot. And from what I've heard and what I've seen, surprisingly enough, this map was pretty well balanced for multiplayer, like 2 people, just about 2 people. Any more I haven't seen, but I've seen it do really well for 2 players. So, if you're looking for a little short experience to play with a friend, this map, from what I've been told, does a really good job at that. So this is that second area off of the entrance. So we have one more area left, which is off of this ruins right here, and then we will be officially done with the Frozen Nightmare, the blue wool area of Arachnapocalypse. Get some lighting in real quick just to take that out. Where's our ladders? Let's do this. Trying to get down real quick while putting a little bit of ladders to make things a lot easier for us to get out. Boop. Now close enough. Ah, close enough. Okay, so as I mentioned before, the wool is in the blue area, and it is the last of the 3 runes is the wool. So there's only in the wool runes, there's only 2 potential pathways. However, they both link up together. So regardless of which way you choose, you'll still end up with getting to the wool. I kind of did this to, you know, it gives the player a false sense of choice. Regardless of what they pick, they'll end up in the same location. The mob layout is a bit different and such like that, but however, it gives the player a false sense of choice, which I thought would be worth trying out in order to give the player something, to make the player think they have some type of choice that matters. And I think it worked pretty well overall. There's a lot of people, they were like, ooh, which way do I want to go? I want to go this way. And then they're like, ooh, okay, I went this way. I got to the monument. Let's go this way. Oh, it leads to the same place. Well, I don't think I saw anyone that knew or had an idea that both pathways led to the same place. I think it was like a matter of, like, they thought one pathway ended up leading to the monument, and then the other pathway led to something else. Hey, Red Spider, how's it going? I forgot about you. Too bad I don't give a shit. Alright, so this is the Victory Monument. It's not too, I guess, too pretty of a room. Nothing super special. It was probably one of the last things I built in the map. And as you can see, we're coming back down the other hallway. I think I'm just going to go down here and clean up this area. And just to... Oh, thank you. Just come in and clean up this area, just so, for ease of safety. For safety's sake, that way you don't have to worry too much about, let it go away. Too much about the other mobs and potentially coming to find us, because luckily, you know, the map is itself in a, you know, no natural mobs will spawn phase, so really, it's very unlikely that something would have come and killed me at the monument, but, you know, sometimes you don't want to take that risk. It's a just-in-case kind of thing. Alright, so as you can see right here, we are back over at the pathway up right there. So, as you can see, both pathways led back to the same thing, and we don't have to worry too much about that. There's apparently a spawner somewhere. There it is. There it is. So one thing, the difference between the beta and the release version of this is that a lot of these cobwebs are above ground. As you can see here and here and this here. This was an intended design decision in order to help combat the OP silverfish. I noticed some issues with the silverfish and that they spawn so fast and they just kind of destroyed your armor and all of that. So yeah. So we ended up putting the in a lot of the areas that have the silverfish as kind of main threats. We moved the cobweb above the ground in order to help to slow them down a bit without them becoming trapped and unable to do anything. So that it will do. We found the monument. We found the other area. I think that's going to be it for today. Next time we'll go into the green wool area and battle that on. And depending on how things go, that might be the last episode of the Arachnapocalypse Developer Commentary. But if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or feedback, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the episode, do feel free to leave a like. It always helps. As always, this is Rock, and I'll catch you guys next time.